Coach Yash is from Suriname, and he helped us with understanding some of the most basic level 1 swim coaching concepts and learn to swim. These are things that swim instructors need to know and understand.
Today, we're going to break down the coaching philosophy of Coach Yash Daryanani. It's a method that's not just about building faster swimmers, but about building better people. As Coach Yash himself puts it, his entire philosophy is built around a pyramid. And he makes it crystal clear. If you start with just speed and endless laps, you're basically trying to build that pyramid upside down. It's just going to collapse. It's all about the foundation first. Well, before anyone even thinks about a single stroke, we have to build the base of our pyramid. And in the Goldwater method, that starts with something absolute. The coach's #1 job is to be a protector. And this isn't just some vague idea. It's a very specific 4-step protocol that has to be followed every single day. No exceptions. The coach scans the entire area to make absolutely sure it's safe before a single swimmer even walks onto the deck. Coach Yash learned this lesson the hard way. He tells the story about his first coaching clinic in the US. He shows up 5 minutes early, right, thinking he's on time, and the guy in charge just looks at him and says, "You're late." That one moment, that humbling experience completely changed how he approached coaching forever. Being a protector also means managing the whole environment. That's why the Goldwater method has this really clear boundary with parents. The rule is simple: no talking to the coach during the session. And look, this isn't about being rude. It's about giving 100% of your focus to the kids in the water. Of course, that parent-coach partnership is still super important for everything else, like nutrition and rest. All right, let's move up to the next layer of the pyramid. With that safety net firmly in place, the focus can shift to what we all think of as swimming, crafting absolutely perfect technique in the 4 competitive strokes. For freestyle, this is a big one. It's all about fixing what he calls splash kicking. Coach Yash actually admits that when he was a kid, he was taught to kick as high as possible. But all that splashing, that's just wasted energy, kicking air. The correction is to kick hard, not high, keeping your feet underwater to push water back and move yourself forward. It's all about propulsion. Then there's backstroke. The name of the game here is total head stability. Think of the head like an anchor. If it's moving around side to side, the hips immediately drop, which creates a ton of drag and sends you swimming crooked. A perfectly still head lets you rotate your shoulders powerfully and swim straight. This gets right to the heart of breaststroke. It is all about rhythm. That 4-part sequence: pull, breathe, kick, glide. And the part that so many people rush is the glide. You kill your glide, you kill your momentum. Simple as that. It's also about tightening up that kick, making it narrow and way more explosive. Now for butterfly, probably the most powerful stroke, right? The correction here is so simple, but it's a total game changer. So many swimmers have a wide arm entry, which is like trying to push through a wall of water every single stroke. The fix is a narrow entry, hands hitting the water right in line with the shoulders. It just lets you slice right through, setting you up for a massive, powerful pull. Okay, so we've got this rock-solid foundation of technique. Now what? How do we start building on top of that? How do we start building a real competitor? And this brings us to the big question, the one every coach eventually has to answer. Once a swimmer has the technique down cold, how do you translate all those perfect movements into just raw race day speed? And the answer in the Goldwater method, well, it kind of flips the script on traditional coaching. The philosophy is you don't chase speed with endless laps. Speed is the natural result of clean, efficient, powerful technique. You build a swimmer so well that speed just happens. So what does that mean in practice? Well, it means you're shifting from just teaching strokes to teaching the physics of moving through water. You're focusing on advanced stuff, like reducing drag, mastering what's called the early vertical forearm, which is basically using your whole forearm like a giant paddle. And then you get into detailed race analysis, breaking down every single split, turn, and stroke. And that brings us to the very top of the pyramid. And you'll notice this has nothing to do with biomechanics or split times. This is all about the human connection. It's about the lasting legacy a coach leaves behind. And one of the key tools here is this 3-step positive reinforcement cycle. It's brilliant, really. Here's how it works. First, you correct the technical mistake, but then you immediately praise the swimmer's effort and attitude. Then you correct the mistake a second time, but you frame it for success. It's a way to build confidence while you're still fixing the details. And if you want to see the real-world power of this, Just listen to this story from Coach Yash. He talks about working patiently with this young swimmer who was shy, dyslexic, and wouldn't speak to anyone. 15 years down the road, that same kid is now the official physiotherapist for the team. I mean, what a testament to mentorship. And that story just drives it home, doesn't it? At the end of the day, a coach's job is so much bigger than the pool deck. You're a motivator, a mentor, a leader, and you have to have a strict policy of zero favoritism to make sure every single kid feels seen and valued. So this whole explainer really shows us building something that lasts in the water and in life. And it leaves all of us, whether we're a coach, a teacher, or a parent, with one final thought to chew on. Beyond the skills and the trophies, what kind of pyramid are you really building?
Now let's listen to two public service announcements about swimming instructors from Yash.
I learned that I always have to be way before time at the pool deck to check for the safety of the athletes, have everything prepared for them so that they could come in. So when I left the States and came back to Suriname, I implemented that whole system with my team and my club, where we would walk around the pool deck, check the safety. And that was every day, no fail. So safety and pool management is one of the most important things if you're going to be busy working with children and swimmers. I learned something at a way later stage because coming from where I am, we do not do that. Now, only after 10 years after I've experienced that, there are other teams that have implemented that system into their program where the coaches have to be there early and screen the pool deck. I recommend that everybody focuses on that from the beginning and does the pool safety. One of the most important things as we're teaching kids, we tend to pay attention to a lot of swimmers. So if you have a big group, or once you turn your back towards one and you're talking to three, that is pretty dangerous. So we always have them all together, and then only we explain what's right and what's wrong, talk about the technique. So all the swimmers get to hear what's the right technique, but do not explain it to just one little kid and you have the other one swimming. So we recommend that all the swimmers head back so that they all listen to what needs to be corrected. In that case, everybody's safe. You get an eye on all the swimmers, and all the swimmers will be looking back at you.
The full 1-hour seminar in Yash's voice is presented at the Substack of Heavy or Not. So go to substack.com, search for Heavy or Not. It's also available at wafsu.org in the Bygone seminar section. There's a special course. You'll be able to log in and enjoy that seminar for free. That's at wafsu.org. We hope you subscribe to the podcast. Thanks for listening.